Something just popped up in my head. It just occurred to me that from an archaeological standpoint, the question of where do there's that question of where do different cultures get their stories of draki-like creatures, dragon-like creatures, and such. And I would argue that it comes from dinosaurs, at least in major part. On that framework, is it possible that on the subject of dverga and alpha, is it possible that those stories, not wholly, not wholly, but at least in part, are developed from ancestral cultural memories of when Homo sapiens did indeed cohabit the earth with other types of humans, or with other types of humans, because different cultures. I mean, I'm just going from a Saxon, a Western and Northern Germanic point of view here, but that Piskies and all sorts. In all sorts of cultures, there are stories about other, ancient contact with other humans that aren't quite like us. Not in the now. Usually, when I see this, it's put in the context of different races, people of different cultures. But does it go further back than that? Does it go back to the point where we still had contact with Neanderthals or with the Denisovans or whatnot? Heidelbergiensis. Is it possible that our tales of elves and dwarves, just going from a Western and Northern European standpoint, do those stories, at least in part, come from cultural ancestral memories of meeting with other humans that weren't quite like us? I think there's a quite a possibility there. Again, this isn't to say that this is the exact origin of these stories. I'm just saying that it's a possible contributing factor. Let me know. I've just tried to do a bit of digging, and I couldn't really find much on the subject. So, if anyone out there knows and watches this and knows about this subject, please let me know. Like I said, one of my primary interests is paleontology and archaeology, and with my having grown up more mature, growing up and choosing, becoming part of a culture, learning learning the multifaceted history of the pagan of the northwestern eastern northwestern European Germanic European pagan peoples, Britain, does there must be. It could it not also be possible that, considering we found, uh, uh, you know, evidence of bones and such in caves in Britain of Neanderthals and such, with the worship of the ancestors that would have been a lot stronger back in the old ancient days, would they have still left? Could it be that they would have also left them untouched, seen that this is a grave, and gone, no, we don't want anything to do with this cave because it is somehow spiritual. But when they did, they noticed that the skull is different to other humans. Oh, it is just conjecture. I must stress this, but it seems like this is not. It doesn't seem like this is unrelated. It did just go off as a light bulb in my head about 10-15 minutes ago, but it's curious, isn't it? I've watched several videos about Dwarfs and Alpha and all the other different types of creatures from different mythologies, especially with Norse and West Germanic. But like I said, it's not just. I'm not saying that it's the reason, but is it a contributing factor? Do we reckon? Because perhaps that is a legitimate field for pagans to go into. Archaeology. I don't know if I mean, yes, it obviously is for a number of pagans, but could we make this a bigger thing? I don't know. It's possible. I just think it's very interesting. And I can't help but think there has to be something to this. Please let me know. Like I said, it's just a little thing to ask people what you think, but I can't find anything on this. I can't find anything on any papers or anything to do with any links, even proving it wrong, between pagan beliefs in elves and dwarves and other such creatures and our own archaeological history, prehistory. Let me know. I hope everyone has a good day. Hi, I'm Godak. Bless a Thursday. This has been my Dark Quest from Shadow Eater.